Okay, well, we are on the Windstar Cruise Line, Star Breeze here. Every port there was a signature sail away with a good song. Here we're in St. Peter's Basilica. Hard to put into words the scale and beauty of everything. It really was truly a amazing place. And this is in the main center at the in Vatican City. Again, just so much beauty, so much detail, and the scale is just mind-blowing. It's a hot day. Here, obviously, self-explanatory, we're at the Colosseum, and there's just people everywhere. Again, another beautiful day. We didn't actually do the tour inside, but nonetheless, a great sight to see, and it was a great day. And this is in Rome still. Still in Rome. This is at the Piazza Navona. Big piazza, lots of little restaurants, people performing arts, and beautiful architecture. And we had lunch there that day with the two of us. And here we've just arrived in the Isle of Capri, just leaving our boat for one of our excursions, and arrivederci. So here we've arrived at the famous Blue Grotto. So what it is, it's a cavern inside the limestone here. We got to get into these little boats to get through a hole which is very small. Basically, we got to time it with the swells of the water and the boat we're in and the clearance to access the grotto. So here we're just waiting to get in. As you can see, there's some swells going on, and the hole is very tight, just big enough for the boat to get in. This is why we're laid back here and just awaiting our entry into the grotto. Still waiting. We probably waited about 10 minutes for all the swells to settle down, and finally we got the green light to go, and he pulls us in with the chain, and you can see how small the hole is. Very little clearance, but once you get in there, I believe the ceiling is about 16 feet high, and then it's about 20 meters deep from one end of the grotto to the other. We were given the option to jump in the water here, so took full advantage of that. And as you can see, the water and the name of the Blue Grotto, the sun's reflecting on the sand, hence giving it the illumination effect there. Pretty cool place. All the guys were in there singing, and not everyone had a chance to swim, so we were fortunate. And this is just exiting the grotto. Again, you can see how small the hole is to get in, and then that was it. We spent maybe 20 minutes there, and maybe half an hour tops, and went for a swim, and had a great time. Jen saying best day ever there. So now we're back in the tour boat with the rest of the guests. Again, we just nailed the weather day in, day out. It was absolutely spectacular. So we cruise back now to not to the boat yet, but into the town of Capri. Beautiful little island, and if you ever get an opportunity to visit there, highly recommended. We had the full day there, so we got a lot in, but it'd be a cool place to spend, 3 or 4 days to get to see it all. So here it is, we're approaching the port in Capri. Very huge limestone mountain there. It was hard to get a picture of it, but right on the right hand side of the mountain there's a hotel right on the cliffside. So here we're at a viewpoint at the top of Capri, and it's kind of hard to scale it, but we are way up there, and that was pretty much straight down to the water there. So you can kind of see it, but you can see the birds flying around there, and it was a 360 panoramic view up there. Beautiful. The boats down there. So we had to take this chairlift to get up there, and then we also had to take the chairlift going back down. So here we are going back down. Amalfi Coast and Sorrento is way in the background there. A little bit of a haze there, so it's kind of hard to see. Now here we're in a train cable car that goes up the hill in Capri. It's I don't know exactly how many degrees it is, but it's it runs on a cable. There's 2 trains, but 1 track, and then they do a pass in the bridge, or sorry, in the tunnel, halfway down. But neat little ride back down to the village, and yeah, that consumed most of our day in Capri, doing the grotto, the viewpoint up top with a glass of wine, and then taking this cable car down, and we had a little bit of time to look at some of the shops and whatnot there. Beautiful spot, Capri, Isle of Capri in Italy. So yeah, the cable train car was probably about 5 minutes from the top to the bottom, and then once you exit, you're just right there at the port in the harbor. So, and the one tunnel here where everyone passes each other, and like I said, there's only one line, so there's a passing lane in the tunnel. Here we are in Montenegro, Kotor. I decided to rent a car here because prior to going, I looked on the map and there was this crazy switchback road that I wanted to go drive, which took us way up into the Alpine. So there was about 30-40 switchbacks. This was the start of it, and it was just an amazing drive. I enjoy road tripping, and this is probably one of the funnest drives I've ever done. As we progressed up to the Alpine, the sheer drop-offs where the road was cut was unbelievable. So again, great drive, very scenic, tunnels, viewpoints, everything. It was breathtaking. We had a little, I think it was called a Citroen or Citrine car with a roof roll back on it, so it was nice. We were able to stick the camera out and get the pictures, but as the camera pans here, you can see we're gained quite a bit of elevation, and our boats are down there in the water. Well, let's see if we get back to that point, but right down where the water is there on the right hand side, you can see our boats are down there. So we've made it to the summit at this point, after all the switchbacks and everything, and really we're at the top of this mountain range. It's unbelievable. So we did a 360 pan. There's a little museum at the top there, and it is, I think they do have some downhill skiing in this area, not where we were, but during the winter time. So now we're in the little town of Kotor. This is the old village itself. Beautiful little spot, all cobblestone, bell towers, clock towers. Here we're in Dubrovnik, Croatia. Haven't watched the King of Thrones or Game of Thrones, but apparently this is where they film a lot of it, and this is the King's Landing area. So they had a wall here that went all the way around the old town. Probably took an hour and a half to walk all the way around, but absolutely breathtaking. What can I say? Another beautiful day, the sun is shining, and we're just walking the wall here. We got on the wall pretty early in the morning, around 9 o'clock. By the time we were done at 10:30, we were just absolutely cooking hot. Apparently they were going through a little heat wave there. Early, we were here end of May, beginning of June, so from what the locals were saying, this was August temperatures without the humidity, so we were 33 to 36 degrees Celsius, but I'm glad we got this walkthrough done in the morning, because after we were done, we had to do this. We were just exhausted, and holy shit, there's Jack Sparrow in the background. An old pirate ship that does tours out of the harbor. But after we had walked the wall, like I said, we were exhausted and had to get in the water, and it was definitely refreshing. Brought our core temperature down, and it was swimming in the Adriatic Sea on the coast of Dubrovnik, Croatia. Beautiful spot. It's another place you could spend a few days. We only had the one day there, but did as much as we could, and there was still a little bit more I would have liked to seen, but maybe we can make it back there again. I'd like to spend a couple days in that town. Pretty cool. And Jen finally got in the water. She didn't want to get her hair wet, so it took her a while to enter, but once she was in there, she was happy. She jumped in. So here, just goofing around with the GoPro, like going underwater with it, but anyways, just goofing around, having fun. Great spot for a swim in front of Dubrovnik. So now we're just catching the tender back to the boat. Head back for some lunch, and then happy hour, which was every hour on our vacation. So now we are in Split, Croatia. Here we did a river rafting tour. Nothing crazy, class 1-2 rapids, so most of all pretty mellow, but once in a while we got into a little bit of rapids like this, which was fun. Again, the water was very clear, very clean, nice for a swim. And we had a good paddle crew, so it was fun. Here we had an opportunity to do some cliff jumping, and then this is actually the next day. This is in Rovinj, Croatia. We just spent about an hour drive inland to get to the start of this bike ride, but prior to that we spent a little time in a little medieval village. Again, beautiful cobblestone and architecture, but this was an old rail line that has been obviously dismantled, but they still use the trail for biking and hiking. I think it was about 30 kilometers in total, mostly a slight gradual downhill grade, so relatively easy excursion. Here I was videoing. It was kind of hard to maintain, but with one hand on the wheel and on the brake, and we had a good time there in Rovin. So this is our last stop on our trip. This is our taxi into Venice, Italy. So this is just approaching, or this is, I guess, the start of the Grand Canal, and it's just neat being in a place where there's no car traffic or truck traffic. It's just all boats, and they have a boat transit system. These are the taxi cabs, which are beautiful themselves, and of course all the gondolas. So this is right in the Grand Canal, close to the train station. If you're familiar with the area, we stayed at the Carlton across from the station, and yeah, very walkable place. You can walk from San Marco Piazza to anywhere really. So if you're willing to put in the time, it's a beautiful place. One should always make sure they carry water and whatnot with them. There wasn't a lot of public washrooms or facilities, but and they were all pay there, so $1.50 to use the washroom. And anyways, Venice, beautiful little place. Here I'm just outside having a local beer. These guys popped by and sang a song, and it was pretty good. I gave them a little tip, and they went on their way, and I was just waiting for Jen to get ready before we headed out for that evening. Jen enjoying a gelato. There's just so many of these little piazzas everywhere. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain the true beauty of the place. You know, I'm trying to do the best I could here with our video camera, but that's on the Rialto Bridge and on the gondola. But it's just every corner you look, every street you go down is just another picture that you want to take, and it's truly a beautiful place to visit. Really, if you spent a lot of time here in Venice, you could hammer it out in probably 3 solid days, maybe 4 solid days. All depends what kind of trip you want. If you want to go. We were there for 3 days, so we got to see a large portion of it, so we were satisfied with what we accomplished in ground cover in Venice. This is in the San Marco Piazza. Again, like, look at all those columns and arches. The scale is always hard to capture on a camera, but great spot. And again, our last day, nailed the weather. All their little displays for their sandwiches and pizzas and stuff were all so beautiful. They take a lot of care in putting a sandwich together and making sure not only they taste good, they look good too. So it was just a great place. Over 600 little bridges like this in Venice, and big bridges too. Obviously we didn't cross them all, but yeah, that's what our gondolier told us, that it's over 600 bridges. And there's a couple of people enjoying a ride, being serenaded with an accordion and a singer. But again, every corner you go around, that's a picture you want to take. And yeah, just walking down a typical alleyway in Venice there. And so thanks for watching. These will be continued till another time.